Outlaws of Thunder Junction cards are still getting into players' hands as product circulates this week. As a result, some of the cards are moving down in value, but there's other things going on this week too. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can pre-order Modern Horizons 3, Universe Beyond Assassin's Creed, or find a vast number of other great products on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or the comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, where this time we're looking at the top 10 coldest Magic cards of the week. These are the cards moving down in value. As always, our top 10 list is based on a couple things. We want to see a percentage increase in the value of the cards. We also want to see a true decrease in the number of sales from week to week. Quickly before we get started, just a couple of things. I do want to say thank you to one of our gold patrons. That is Drave. Drave, thank you for your support as a gold patron. Really helps the channel more than I can even tell you. Again, I could never do this without supporters like yourself. Thank you so much, Drave. And one other quick thing. This video is sponsored by FlipsideGaming.com. Currently, you can pre-order Modern Horizons 3 there, and now you can also pre-order Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Assassin's Creed products. Or you can pick up any number of other items on the site, Magic related or otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And to find their link, all you got to do is look in the description or the comment section below. We have direct links in both of those areas. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Card the Eye Tyrant, down $1.07 to $6.92. That's a 13% decrease. This is the foil copy from the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms Planar Portal Commander deck. It does see a fair amount of Commander play. Many times it's in the popular Issue 2 Heavens is 1 decks, for example. But recently, Commander players have been chasing mostly builds around new cards. Cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction or other new products. Older strategies and the cards in them can get lost or forgotten about, as a lot of players want to try out new builds regularly. And that is what you're seeing here as this card dips. Coming in at number 9 is Alibu Ancient Witness, down $1.15 to $8.63. That's a 12% decrease, and this is the foil copy from the Commander 2021 deck, Lorehold Legacies. Alibu was spiking aggressively a few weeks back as players were getting this to upgrade the Fallout Science Commander deck with an exclamation point, while others wanted it for fresh builds around the front-facing Commander from their Dr. Madison Lee. But the big driver for this was the Commander builds around Mr. House, President and CEO from the Fallout Hail Caesar deck. Now though, players are moving on from Mr. House to builds around cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction like Obeka Splitter of Seconds, so Alibu retracts some this week. Number 8 is Satoru the Infiltrator, down $1.22 to $5.50. That's an 18% decrease. This was our number 5 coldest card last week, and here we have an Outlaws of Thunder Junction card that sees a lot of play but is still moving down. And that is due to all the copies getting out there right now. Keep an eye on this card though. A week ago, Aspiring Spike streamed a Modern Brewing session featuring a Satoru Vial deck. Now we're seeing a bunch of Modern decks playing this card. For example, Crabvine, Esper Reanimator, Esper Stoneblade, Esper as well as Sultai Scam. I've also seen some trying this in Pioneer Dimir Vampires, Legacies, and Reanimator and Ninjas at times. Even some vintage decks have been using it. Additionally, it has been a fairly popular commander already, and it's in the 99 of some builds there too, old and new, including a popular one in the form of Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow. It will be interesting to see what this card does in the coming weeks. Coming in at number 7 is Lotus Ring. It goes down $1.26 to $7.25. That's a 15% decrease. This is from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the Big Score subset. And it did have a high price point at release, but it really isn't seeing that much play to speak of right now. Some are throwing it in a commander deck here or there, but I'm not really seeing it show up in that many deck lists. So not surprisingly, it moves down this week. Coming in at number 6 is Lost Jitte, down $1.34 to $9.46. That's a 12% decrease. Here's another card from that Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the Big Score subset. This one also had a high price point when it came out, so it is moving down some, but the card has made an impact in some formats. I have seen players trying this out in a few different standard builds. In Pioneer, it's shown up in Izzet and Soul Artifacts. Modern Dice Factory has been running it, as well as some other builds there. And it has been in some commander decks old and new. Slicer Hired Muscle is one example. Like the previous card though, it leans heavily into nostalgia. so we'll have to see if it can get enough play to hold value on its own merit in the coming weeks and months. Number 5 is Delina Wild Mage, down $1.41 to $8.50 for a 14% decrease. This spiked pretty aggressively recently since it is a die roll card and many wanted it for their Mr. House President and CEO Commander builds. Like I mentioned earlier though, as players finish their builds and or move on to other Commander decks around the latest cards, drops like this tend to happen. Now this is seeing some more Commander play in a build around a card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which may keep it from falling too fast. That card is Roxanne, Starfall Savant. And it is important to note that Delina may have retracted some, but the card is still quite a bit higher than it was prior to the start of the spike. Coming in at number 4 is Jace, Reawakened, down $2.19 to $11.55 for a 16% decrease. The combo between this new card and Valky God of Lies has led to them both seeing modern play in a few builds, including Grixis Control. I've seen some trying this out in Pioneer and Vintage as well, but ultimately we'll have to see where it sticks. In Commander, this new Jace is getting some play in different builds, old and new, like Kellen the Kid, for example. Again, though, we have a case where a new card is seeing play, but maybe not as much as some anticipated. Couple that with all the product getting into circulation, and Jace Reawakened goes down some this week. Number 3 is Oko, the Ringleader, down $2.52 to $13.99 for a 15% decrease. This was our number 6 coldest card last week, remains cold this week. This new Oko from Outlaws of Thunder Junction is also trying to find its price point now that it's out. It is seeing a fair amount of Commander play already in builds old and new, including Kellen the Kid from Outlaws of Thunder Junction as well. I have seen some trying Oko in Standard, but the card is not anything like the original Oko, so it isn't currently seeing an abundance of play. Again, couple this with the inventory getting into players' hands, and this moves down. Number 2 this week is Altar of the Brood, down $2.75 to $12.23. That's an 18% decrease. This card got hot not too long ago because it is a mill card and players wanted it to upgrade the Fallout Mutant Menace Commander deck. Others wanted it for fresh builds, run a couple cards from there, the Wise Mothman and the Master Transcendent. Same story here though, players and speculators are moving on to newer cards, but this is showing up in a couple Commander builds around cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Tiny Bones the Pickpocket, and Garrod Mirror of the Wilds. Like Delina, this play may have slowed the fall, and Altar of the Brood is still quite a bit higher than before the spike caused by Mutant Menace. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Collector's Cage, down $4.12 to $10.87. That's a 27% decrease. This is another card from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the Big Score subset. And you might remember, this was our number 2 hottest card last week. It has been seeing some Pioneer play in builds like Boros Convoke and Selesnya Midrange, but Modern was the reason this card spiked upon release. There we have seen it in a few builds, the most popular ones being Mardu Midrange and Affinity. We will have to see how much play this card gets going forward, but right now it has potential. However, the product is being opened heavily like we've been discussing, and since this spike last week, there have been a lot of sellers trying to take advantage of the higher price point this week, leading to a lot of copies getting out there. Hence the price retraction. And that's going to do it for our top 10 cold cards of the week. But if you want to know which cards are moving up in value, check out the video we put out yesterday. We looked at the top 15 hot cards because the market is pretty hot overall right now. Added some extra cards to our normal top 10. With that being said though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon and have a great day.